Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the F1 2014 Ferrari career mode on the Xbox One. Today it is time for race number 16 of the 2014 season. The season is coming to a close very, very quickly. In a week and a half's time, at least in real life, and we will be at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But today it is time for the inaugural Russian Grand Prix. As you can see, Mercedes could win the Constructors' World Championship at this race. Quite incredible. Mercedes, I don't think they've dominated to the extent that anybody dreamed they would. Of course, we've took 5 wins so far this year, and Red Bull have took a couple of wins off them as well. So not so dominant for Mercedes, and of course Nico Rosberg has been completely off the pace. But a nice circuit, I think. This is originally built around the Olympic Park infrastructure. And as it says there, it's really nice, high speed and technical as well. A nice balance between that. And I thoroughly enjoy this circuit. Certainly a lot more than the previous circuit, the Japanese Grand Prix. So let's hope it'll go a little bit better. It's roughly, to be fair, exactly the same length, if you like, in terms of laps. I mean, Suzuka's that little bit shorter, 0.03 miles shorter a lap. That I might be wrong in saying, but I think Sochi's a little bit quicker a lap because it's got a few more of those straights. But I might be wrong. But it's certainly marginal. Anyway, the championship didn't go our way last time out, unfortunately. We were ahead of Nico Rosberg. However, a bad race in Suzuka meant that we've dropped down to third again and are 16 points behind Nico Rosberg. The championship battle is pretty much non-existent. Lewis is 58 points ahead of Nico Rosberg. There's 125 points still on the table, obviously with that double points round in Abu Dhabi to come. But in terms of our position of third, we need to watch behind us probably for Vettel, who's jumped up ahead of Ricciardo. Ricciardo retired from the Italian Grand Prix. Yes, he retired from the Italian Grand Prix after being second behind, so that's really not helped him in the driver's standings. As Alonso hasn't been helped, so it's a battle between Alonso and Ricciardo for 5th, and ourselves and Vettel for 3rd. But looking at the constructors, as we said before, Mercedes could win it today. There are, God, let's think. So there's 86, 129, 172, and then 86, 172, 86. God, my maths is rubbish. 200 and, let's say roughly 258, something like that. So I don't really know how they can win the Constructors. Surely there can't be that many. 43, 86, 168. And then another... Oh, sorry, there's only 4 races left, aren't there, of course? So 3 races, 129. And then another 86 on top of that. 215. Is that right? Surely it is. So we are 149 points behind them. So I suppose after this race, there'll be, what, only... Oh, scrap it. They can win the Constructors today. I don't care about the permutations because they're going to win it at some stage. But the real battle is between us and Red Bull. But that's enough pre-race chatting. Let's get on with it. I'm really excited for this one. The last few races have been a bit boring in my opinion. Japanese Grand Prix in Singapore. But I'm really excited for this one. So here comes the 2014 Russian Grand Prix. So lap 1 time in Q1. We should be good to get through the session with this time. We're well above what the peak 16 time is. At least I think we are, because that has changed a few times throughout the lap. But Sergio Perez just set a fast lap of 143.3. I don't think we'll be quickest here, certainly not. But we'll be decently on the pace. Could be completely wrong. But there's a Sauber just ahead of us. Nico Rosberg and Alonso are just behind us. Let's see what it is coming across the line. It's P1. That is a great lap. Great way for us to start. Sure, we've just been relegated to P2, presumably by either Nico Rosberg, whoever's behind him. We'll find out who it is. No, it's Fernando. So as I thought, Nico Rosberg in 3rd just behind us. So Ricciardo's just gone to the top. We should be able to get through this session, although worried and we are the 2nd behind our competitors. But we've got the fuel, as I always say, for 3 laps in this Q1 session. So that was my first flying lap around the circuit all weekend. Got the inside of Perez, Gutierrez there. Not really the ideal line through that corner, sure, but seems to have got us an advantage through Sector 1. But we've got 3 laps of fuel, so we've obviously got 2 laps of those left now, so we might as well keep going for it. We've got no traffic behind us now to worry us, so let's just go and see if we can improve our time. But the good news is, we should be through Q1 with ease. Well, that wasn't a bad session at all. We really improved on that 2nd lap to go just behind Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo 3rd, Alonso 4th, Rosberg 5th and Vettel 6th. So fairly normal in what usually is a little bit of a weird Q1 session. But Adrian Sutil and Pastor Maldonado drop out with Bianchi leading that bottom 4 group. But we seem to have good pace here going into Q2, so that is definitely positive. So just a case now of whether the 4 guys behind it can get up to our pace, and I think they certainly will. Looks a lot warmer in this session, doesn't it? Goodness me, it was quite overcast in the last session, so that'll definitely help lap times with the tyres sticking to the road a little bit more. Plus the fact we are on the stickier tyres. The options are much better than the primes. The lap time of Lewis Hamilton set so far is a 1 minute 40.7. So a good 1 second delta to what he set on the prime tyres. And it seems that everybody else is much closer to him than they were before. So let's see what our first attempt is. Our first attempt this weekend on the option tyres. This looks to be a good first lap. Half second clear of JB's time. That puts him in 10th. So unfortunately we're going to knock my favourite driver out of Q2. Hopefully he can improve his time. I don't mind the likes of Gutierrez going out. I can deal with that. But obviously it was a 1 minute 40.7 set by Lewis. A second improvement from the last session. Let's see what our improvement's going to be. Nice and tidy lap so far. Through the last corner. And it's top of the times. We're really good in that last sector. I think we just exploit the track limits slightly, possibly, which might give us a little bit of an edge. But nonetheless, we take first position after that, which is fantastic. Hamilton second, Ricciardo third, who's just come out of the pits, as you can see. But this looks good. Far better than our efforts in Japan. I said I like this circuit, and well, if we can take a win this weekend, that would be absolutely awesome. But there's a long way to go yet, but certainly positive signs from Q1 and Q2. Well, this is what Basil Fawlty would call a damn good thrashing. 6 tenths clear. Wow. What a lap that was. Jenson Button, unfortunately, out. He's joined by the Lotus, the Sauber, the 2 Toro Rossos, and Sergio Perez. And once again, a good qualifying from Nico Hülkenberg, who joins the usual suspects, the 2 Williams cars, and Kevin Magnussen in Q3. Obviously, though, it's all reset to 0 in Q3, so we've got to replicate the time that we've just presented, and we'll be on pole for the Russian Grand Prix. Well, we've completed our first run in Q1. It seems nobody else is taking this seriously. We're 8 tenths off our time we set before. I'm very much guessing that everybody else is going to set much better lap times. And we're going to wait a few minutes, put the fuel down to the absolute minimum, get out there on a new set of option tyres, and let's see if we can take pole. But I'll tell you what, everybody else is going to get a hell of a lot better. Don't worry about that. And what did I say? Everyone's going to get a hell of a lot better. We've been relegated to the second row. Although, we set a 140 dead in Q2. Replicate that. It's very much one-shot qualifying now. We've only got a minute to go. We've got just a few laps of fuel. The minimum we can put in the car. And this is going to be a blast. Can we improve by the 4 tenths needed to take pole position? Sector 1 is good. 10th and a half up. Don't know what Lewis's time was because there's a bit of a glitch in the times that shows his Sector 2 time. But good so far, but not purple. Let's see what this Sector 2 line is then. Going to open DRS. I think we're going to struggle to get pole here, you know. I think we're just too far off. It's not been a great lap. As you can see, we are 6 tenths off Lewis. But we're always good for this last sector. It's going to be a big recovery from here to do it. But trust me, I think we've done it before. Through the last few corners. I mean, a second row start would be great. But considering we've been the pace man all throughout, it would not be great to... Oh, we've just had a twitch of oversteer there, and I think that's finished us, unfortunately. Through the last corner, though. Going to give it our all. Run a little bit wide. And it's only 4th. That is disappointing. I mean, they're happy with our drive, but considering where we were, that is disappointing to only qualified P4. Hülkenberg beats Alonso to the 3rd row. Fantastic. And Daniel Ricciardo just about splits the Mercedes. So an interesting race up ahead. Clearly we haven't got the consistent pace, but when we're on fire, we are on fire. So this should be an interesting race. Here we go for the 2014 Russian Grand Prix. Here we go then. The dominant man this season on pole. Daniel Ricciardo 2nd. Our rival in 3rd. Ourselves in 4th. And Fernando Alonso, disappointing qualifying. His second half of the season. He has never really been the same, has he, since those 2 consecutive retirements. The team have faith, though. They want us to finish in P1 today. 5 lights above the drivers. And we are away. We're on the inside line. It's probably the better place to start. Rosberg has quite a poor start. We've got the slipstream from Daniel Ricciardo, moves into 1st. And Hamilton and Rosberg have had really poor starts. So it's going to get the slipstream. Ricciardo seems to be harvesting a bit of ERS. So we're going to move to the outside line. Can we take the lead at this corner? Oh, Ricciardo's there. Oh, we're going to have to run a little bit wide there. Nico Hülkenberg's up to 2nd. Wow. What a start for Nico Hülkenberg. Let's just look at this. Hülkenberg 2nd. Wow. What a start. Hamilton down in 5th. Alonso up to 6th. Massa's Rosberg's down to 8th. Vettel 9th. A disastrous start for some of those guys. No incidents, it seems, at the start, but I don't care. We're going to just go away. We had to cut that corner because I think we did tap Ricciardo and, well, we didn't get penalised for it, which is nice. But we've got a Force India behind us. A Force India in second. Can Nico Hülkenberg finally do what he's never done and finally do it in a game and take his first podium? But he's probably the best driver, certainly outside the top 6, to have behind us. He's not really going to be on our pace. Fernando seems to be in 4th now. Lewis has dropped down to 5th. What a disastrous start for the Mercedes drivers. Wow, what a start. Well, just what a start generally. Clearly that outside of the grid was the worst place to start. Daniel Ricciardo got off to a good start. Overtook Lewis at the start. We overtook Nico. Mercedes had a disastrous start, and that was just compounded, really. I'll tell you what, though, Hülkenberg, he's right behind us. Can a Force India win a race? Surely not. Look at this development. There's been an incident, obviously, because Rosberg, he's not only 8th now, he's down to 16th. Bottas 14th. So there's been an incident. There was a yellow flag in Sector 2, which means that Rosberg has certainly been hurt. I don't know whether it's a pit stop that Rosberg's now to come in for. I'm not exactly sure, but a terrible start for Rosberg. And I think this might well call his championship charge officially over. But, you know, we're going to move back into second the way it stands. Quite incredible how things can swing. Our lap time's pretty good, though, as the leader. That's pleased to see. Hamilton just set a fastest lap of a 1:42.532. Our last lap with a 1:42.554. So, certainly not holding up a train here. Hülkenberg has actually checked out ahead of Ricciardo and Hamilton, which is brilliant to see. Unfortunately, though, hasn't got the DRS on us because we have broken that 1 second barrier as well. So, he's in between a rock and a hard place, really, here at the moment, Hülkenberg, because, well, to be fair, even Danny Rick hasn't got DRS on Hülkenberg. So, Hülkenberg's safe for the moment, but if Ricciardo and Hamilton get DRS on Hülkenberg, it might well be Hamilton who's the one who's going to benefit, because effectively he gets a double DRS dose from being behind 2 cars. But Nico Rosberg down in 16th. I don't think he's improved his place in the last lap or so. So this is a disaster for the whole Mercedes team. Not one of their cars on the podium at the moment. One of them out of the points. No fastest lap of the race. It's encouraging to see we haven't quite broken the duck of Hülkenberg just yet. It's 1.8 seconds the gap. Ricciardo a further 7 tenths behind him. Then Lewis 6 tenths behind him. But as you can just see, new fastest lap set. Rosberg has recovered to P13, so he's recovering slowly, but I mean, low points is going to be the best he's going to get, maybe 8th, 7th possibly, but Hülkenberg doing a fantastic job at the moment to stay in P2. Really happy for him, as long as it doesn't threaten our place tour, which, to be fair, I don't think he will. Just all depends on the pit stops, whether he can stay there. We're going to be pitting on the next lap. All depends, I suppose, whether Hülkenberg, Ricciardo and Hamilton are the elected guys from their teams to stop first or second. Just trying to pull a gap on this lap, just so in the pit lane we don't get disrupted, because we've been done in the pit lane a few times, to be quite honest. So on rich fuel mix, it's actually done the opposite. Hülkenberg has pulled the gap back. I think it was 2.2 at the Sector 1 line, 1.8 now though, but we've tried our best. All depends, I suppose, whether this man's coming in or not. And Ricciardo and Hamilton behind. So we're going to lean mix. It's quite a weird pit lane setup here. So, is it Hülkenberg coming in? Ricciardo, looks like Ricciardo's in, I think. No, it's Hülkenberg, sorry, apologies. So, Hülkenberg and Hamilton are in. We get out there nice and safe, no problems with that. Oh, Hülkenberg out just ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And a weird pit lane exit here as well. I mean, there's Nico's teammate, Perez. That just shows what Force India's pace usually like. More to the point, there's Nico Rosberg. A pit stop behind us. Wow. Obviously, Lewis has just been in. There's Rosberg on track. Obviously, a little bit of traffic, which is great. There's a Williams there too. I presume that's the Williams of Valtteri Bottas. So we've got a really nice cushion. Let's see where Ricciardo comes out. That'll be interesting to see. But we've got a nice cushion at the moment, so we might as well push like hell, certainly for this lap, because Rosberg and Bottas will be coming into the pits at the end of it. Looks like we've got a pretty good chance here of winning the Grand Prix. So here come the rest of the guys into the pits. The interesting thing will be, where are Ricciardo and Alonso going to come out? Obviously, Ricciardo was right behind Nico Hülkenberg last time out. Let's see where Ricciardo is going to be. He's going to be quite a way behind, actually. I think Ricciardo might have mucked this up, but let's see. Obviously, Hülkenberg and Hamilton are a little bit further behind than what they were. So there's Ricciardo coming out now. It's going to be close. And I think Ricciardo's... Oh, Hamilton, what on earth has happened there? They all switch positions. Very odd. Ricciardo was second for a minute, then Hulkenberg second, then Hamilton just jumped into second. So Hamilton's taken advantage. Hulkenberg third, Ricciardo fourth. Obviously, Ricciardo's lost the most out of that. And I think Alonso is fifth. Not really close behind him, it doesn't seem, but purple in the first sector. That's outstanding stuff. Really good stuff. And our gap has extended to nearly 4 seconds now, so we've got a really nice lead at the front. Alonso's not too far behind that group, so we'd love to see him get involved and potentially get himself a podium. But that fantastic story of Hulkenberg bagging himself a podium is on, people. Very close on race pace once again. I felt like Hamilton was starting to creep in on us. I mean, we did a 1:42.6 just then. Hamilton with a 1:42.4. No real surprise that he's managed to gap Hulkenberg quite extensively over a second. Hulkenberg under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo. But let's see if Fernando, as I said earlier, can get involved in that race. And potentially, if Lewis gets the style going, if he puts on the style, he could well get the gap down to us. But 2.8 seconds is a nice gap to have. 2.1 already. Lewis has pulled out to Nico Hulkenberg. Quite unbelievable, really. But remember, he did do well in the Japanese Grand Prix. He finished in P6. This would be fantastic run of form for the Force India driver. Obviously, this being by far his best result of the season. We've really pushed hard the last few laps to try and get away from Lewis Hamilton because he was 1.7 seconds behind us. Now, I think Hamilton's made a mistake as well, which has helped us quite massively. But Hamilton is now 4 seconds behind us. We have checked out from Hamilton at last. And there's 2 laps to go here. And we should be able to get pretty much a lights to flag win. Yes, we took the lead at turn 2. So Hamilton, Ricciardo led between then. But after that, we have not lost the lead once, obviously, apart from the pit stops. But a good race. This has been. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I do enjoy the Russian Grand Prix circuit. You just throw up the most exciting race in real life. But I do quite find it a challenging circuit to drive around. I mean, I remember this Grand Prix happening for the first time. I remember my first time driving around this circuit was on our faction. I thought it was really weird at the time. Couldn't quite get to grips with it. But when this game came out, I have to say I loved the circuit. It was really nice. So hopefully that we can say the same for circuits like Vietnam, Zandvoort in the future in Formula 1. In 2021 it looks like it'll be now. But Hamilton is a long way back. Nico Hulkenberg seems to be holding on for that brilliant podium. What a result that would be. Rosberg at the moment is only in P11. So we lost some points last time out by only finishing 7th. But Christ, Rosberg has completely bottled it, finishing down in 11th. But Hamilton seems to have lost his pace, really. He's lost his tyres, I would guess, probably. He is 5.3 seconds back from us now. So quite a way back. Oh, not so great through that corner. But little mistakes like that aren't going to cost unless we make a complete mistake. There's the guy in 22nd just coming across the line. Unfortunately, we won't be able to lap him at any point here. But this has been a strong Grand Prix. Really has. We've had the pace throughout. Not the fastest man entirely, but we have been helped. The other 2 really that have been able to challenge, Hamilton and Rosberg. Obviously, Rosberg has been out of the race since turn 2, turn 3. And Lewis Hamilton is now 5.7 seconds behind. And Hulkenberg has got a 6/10 gap to Daniel Ricciardo. So it looks like he's going to hold on for third. What a fantastic result that would be. Lewis now 7 seconds behind. I would guess his tyres have fell off the clip. I mean, Nico Hulkenberg's actually gaming on Lewis Hamilton. So another lap or 2 and that could have been over. As you can see behind, I don't think Ricciardo and Alonso seems to have dropped out of 5th. Oh, he's down to 6th. That's disappointing to see with Vettel in 5th. But going around the last few corners now, this will make it 3 wins in the last 4. Italy, Singapore, Japan was only P7. But in Russia, we come across the line and take their 25 points that comes along with a victory. And Nico Rosberg doesn't get any points. Fernando Alonso 6th. Does Hulkenberg hold on in 3rd place? He absolutely does. What a result from Hulkenberg. And you know what? He was on the pace as well. He was not too far off the pace of Ricciardo at all. Vettel 5th. A little bit disappointed to see Alonso only 6th. Massa 7th. Jensen but 9th. Magnussen 9th. And Perez in 10th. And a point would be pretty good for most days on Force India's part. But a podium, wow. Absolutely fantastic. Rosberg doesn't get any points. That's a shocker. Valtteri Bottas 12th. And not really much that's surprising behind that. So we have gained points, of course, and we are now back ahead of Nico Rosberg. That battle has really swung both ways in the last 2 races, but we're back ahead of Rosberg, 9 points ahead. There are 100 points left now, so if Lewis, well, let's think about it. There'll be 75 points left, so if Lewis wins the next race, he is the world champion. Rosberg 76 points behind, so again, Lewis only needs 1 win out of the last 3, and it's confirmed that he's won the championship. Vettel just holding on. He's 32 points behind us now. But in the Constructors, more importantly, we are comfortably in second now. Sahara Force India take the lead again because of that 15 points they got ahead of Williams. Obviously 16 with the solitary point for Perez. But we're 124 points behind Mercedes, so they haven't won the Constructors title today. That's good news, I suppose. But I would say they will definitely win it in America. It's only a matter of time. Look at that Force India finishing in third. Quite unbelievable. But it's been a familiar lineup for us to finish either first or second, and Lewis Hamilton to be in the other position, because we've been a league above anybody else, the two of us this season. Brilliant result for Nico Hülkenberg. He's the real hero today. But we take the win. Lewis Hamilton second, and Force India's Nico Hülkenberg finishes in third. What a race. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. Oh, not more bloody contract rumours. I bet we'll get an offer from Lotus or someone stupid like that now. Let's see, shall we? We've got one contract offer. Let's see what the emails are. We're winning the teammate challenge. It's fantastic. Our 6th win of the season. Absolutely fantastic. Offer to renew contract. Excellent. That's nice to see. So if you've enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well. And subscribe for regular Formula 1 2014 content. We'll be back for the United States Grand Prix. It looks like that Mercedes might well have won the Constructors, but I don't think they have yet, because that wouldn't make any sense. 43, 86, and then another 86. They can't have won it yet, but Lewis could win the Drivers' World Championship at this race. He's won it a few times there before. Interesting. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming. Remember, during these times, to continue to stay safe and take care. And until the next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.